Welcome to Exposing Leftist Lunacy on the Fafo channel. I'm Chase Truth. Donald J. Reaganowski is on assignment. The scariest part of the fact that someone like Zohran Mamdani is as close to being elected mayor of New York City as he isn't Zohran Mamdani himself. It's the people who support him, much more on that in a moment. Zohran Mamdani is not a democratic socialist, as he deceptively brands himself. He's an out-and-out Marxist, communist. Take your pick. He does not want you to own your own home, but that doesn't matter because the government will take care of it, and the evil billionaires will pay for all of it.
Is that every single person should have housing. And I think faced with these two options, the system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused, right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
Let me repeat that. Whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it a statewide housing guarantee, it's definitely preferable to what we have now. Realtors across South Florida are dancing in the streets. Savannah Craven spoke to some of those who have New York City's future in their hands.
And it's bad news for New York, bad news for America. And we're going to talk to people out here today, ask them why they're out here. I believe there's also some pro-Mamdani people over here, so hopefully we can try to get some stuff from them too. Stay tuned. What brings you guys out here to support Zohran today?
Yeah, so we're out here to support Zohran because we think that his policies are the best for New York City. I think that he's run a brilliant campaign, and he's dedicated to making New York more affordable and welcoming to all people. And we think that, the group that's opposing him is not a group that represents all Italian Americans.
Okay. What is your favorite policy of his?
Yeah, freeze the rent is definitely the one that is most doable and most practical. It shows his sense of practicality and clarity of mission. But personally, I love free buses. I think I'm a big transit nerd, so I'd love to take a bus for free.
Freeze the rent and free buses are his favorite Zohran policies. They show his clarity of mission, so did Charles Manson. Plus, he's a transit nerd. He must love to just sit and ride buses all day long. I'm guessing this is one of those able-bodied parasites that Medicaid just got properly taken away from.
And he's a self-proclaimed Democrat socialist. Do you think that socialism is something that we need in New York City?
I think it's something that we need everywhere, because I think we live under a system that, drives inequality and, makes people suffer and die because they don't have enough money, and creating a more democratic economic system should be an imperative for living in a society.
But what country has socialism done really well?
Yeah, capitalism done really well. We're living in a country with massive amounts of inequality, complete polarization, and we can look at something like the 1950s and the 1960s in the United States as a model of what does a little bit more redistribution look like.
Wait a minute. Did he just say that equality was better in the 50s and 60s, and we should model after that? I thought black folks in the 50s suffered by far the worst blatant racism in the modern era, and the catalyst for civil rights reform?
Now, does that mean no one should make money? Of course not.
Do you agree with Zohran that we should get rid of billionaires?
Yes.
I don't care how much Bible thumping this does. I don't care how much Trump supporting she does. You're still a nigger. So you're on my side. You're still a so it doesn't matter what the you do. And I have white power titties.
Maybe she can be the new police commissioner. He wants to defund the police, and I'm sure her price isn't too high.
And I have white power titties. White power titties. They're white power because I'm the only white bitch.
Zohran Mamdani's constituents, taking the great city of New York in a brand new direction, while most New Yorkers with common sense start to plan theirs. When we come back, we confront more desperate Trump haters infected with full-on chronic TDS. Makes what you just saw look tame. That's next on Exposing Leftist Lunacy.
My mom needed help. We always wanted to be there for her, but sometimes that's just not possible. We had tough decisions. Do we put her in a nursing home? Should strangers come into mom's house? Then we found Seniors Helping Seniors, and I must say, it was such a blessing. Mary, my mom's caregiver, she's like family now. She's there when we can't be, helping with household chores and her personal needs. And even more so, she's there as a friend. Seniors Helping Seniors allowed my mom to receive care from the comfort of her own home.
Welcome back to Exposing Leftist Lunacy. TDS is a chronic, mentally crippling disease. It takes away all capacity to use simple common sense. There's no mistaking anyone inflicted with TDS with a Trump supporter. You also won't find many Trump supporters at any kind of protests on a weekday afternoon. They're at work. Caitlin Bennett went to an anti-Trump protest in Tampa, Florida today and met a couple of, mostly, peaceful protesters.
These people only operate on lies and conspiracy theories. They're a bunch of dip.
How do you know anything about me, sir?
I know everything enough. All I need to know is you're a Trump supporter, and that tells me everything, honey.
About me?
That's all I need to know. You're evil. Now go.
How am I evil?
You're a pedophile. You weird, sick. You're probably the driver of that weird car down the street. So you don't know me either.
What's my name?
I don't need to know your name to know that you're part of a cult trying to overthrow the government. You're an inbred dumbass. Get the out of my face with that, or I'm gonna grab it, throw it on the ground. If you get 1 inch closer. You're a dumbass.
Hi.
Huh?
I like your sign. Did you? Oh no, you printed that out or did you draw it?
Neither one.
Either one.
Nope.
No, you didn't. Or did you make this sign?
Sure I did. Why not?
Sure you did? Okay. I don't think you did. Did you?
Yeah.
Or did someone? Oh, you did. No, don't be afraid of that. It's beautiful. Who is the birthday girl? Who is the birthday girl?
Whoever goes home with Trump.
Shame on you. You're very brave, sir. Very brave.
Brave? Fuck around and find out. You're the one that's brave.
The people earlier said, "Oh, I smell alcohol. You must be drunk." I think it's that guy. That might be true.
Trumpsters are pussies unless they're in large numbers or weapons. Any one of them could step up. I'll pound them. Step up into my space. It's called Stand Your Ground Law. It was put in place so they could kill black people easier. Guess what? I can kill Nazis easier.
Who is a Nazi?
All of y'all.
I'm a Nazi?
Anybody who supports Donald Trump, you support Nazis. How can you not be a Nazi?
Have you killed a Nazi yet? I like your lipstick.
Oh, mad for your fucking clicks.
I don't
like anything about you.
Make out, not war. Who's making out with you today?
What are you afraid of? You should be so proud of your work. Take the masks off, you sick.
I'm not wearing a mask.
If you don't have a badge and you ain't showing your face,
I seriously think he might be on something.
Listen, guys.
Racist.
Dude, I'll talk to you guys.
Hurry up and defend yourselves. Do the
Hey, bro, what's going on? Where's your buddy? What's going on? Goodbye, man. God bless. Where's your buddy go? Oh. I was with you.
You've shown you don't care about dead children every time there's a shooting.
Yeah.
More guns, more guns, more guns. You bunch of sick fucks.
It's folks like that remind us why the founding fathers were so spot on with the notion that only landowners should be allowed to vote. I wonder how they'd have felt about women with blue hair. Savannah Hernandez went to an ICE facility in New Jersey that only housed illegal aliens who were also convicted of violent crimes. Due process afforded to all didn't seem to faze any of them.
Welcome to the Delaney Hall ICE Detention Center. This is where the mayor of Newark, Raz Baraka, was recently arrested for trespassing after calling for the facility to be shut down and refusing to leave in protest against what he states is an attack on immigrant rights. Now, this center is currently housing some of the worst criminals in society, part of gangs such as MS-13, or have committed crimes such as drug trafficking, child sexual assault, and murder. But despite all of this, protesters are still calling for the release of these criminals. so I decided to go and speak with them. You have a sign that says, "Stop deportations now." Talk to us about why you're here today.
Well, I'm opposed to deporting people. This is a democracy, and we're here, the people who are here, we're here to stand up for our democracy.
What do you say to the people who say that Donald Trump was democratically elected to mass deport the illegal aliens in this country?
There are laws in this country. Due process is one of those laws.
So I was reading that 75% of the people in this vicinity have either committed a crime, have pending criminal charges, and they did get that due process, and they are criminals. What are your thoughts on that?
I would guess that that's a lie, because we don't even know who's in there.
So do you think it's American citizens that are being rounded up and thrown in here, or what is the thought process?
How would we know?
I think a lot of times these people don't even speak English, and they're not from the United States of America, and they came into the country illegally.
I want to know where you're from, where this station is from, because the kind of questions you're asking me are very, very offensive.
Well, you're offended by my question, but a lot of Americans are offended by the fact that illegal immigrants broke into our country and have been murdering people.
I'm finished.
So I think that a lot of people want to know why you guys are defending criminal aliens that have committed crimes in this country.
Oh my God, do you work for Trump?
You have mass deportations. They are not just targeting people who have committed crimes. They are saying that people are criminals simply for crossing the border.
But that is a crime. That's a federal crime.
I personally do not believe that that is a crime. The vast majority of people who are coming to America are coming here for economic opportunity.
But that's not asylum.
I disagree. Asylum, I'm a political scientist. And the truth is that most words that we take for granted are actually quite up for debate.
They'll take you too. They don't really care.
Why do you think they're going to take me too?
Because you have brown skin.
That's pretty racist. I'm an American citizen.
Doesn't matter.
So you think I'm going to get deported?
You could.
So this woman right here thinks I'm going to get deported because I'm a brown woman. That's an extremely racist thing to say, ma'am.
No, the racist people are...
No, you're the racist, because you just came up to me and said I'm going to get deported because I'm brown. How dare you? How dare you sit here and speak to me because of my skin tone? No, I don't need to be careful. Guess what? I voted for Donald Trump because he's a president of law and order, and I've actually met him. He's very nice. And it's racist like you who stand here and tell me that I'm going to get deported because I'm brown. How dare you? This is the average right liberal right here. How dare you?
How dare I?
Yes, how dare you?
How dare I?
So you're coming up here and you're telling me that I'm going to get deported because I'm brown.
Mass deportation. You're supporting mass deportation.
I'm an American citizen. So yes, I am supporting mass deportation of people who are not American citizens.
I'm Catholic.
Congratulations. Are you an American citizen?
Yeah. None of your business.
So you are an American citizen, clearly.
None of your business.
I'm not going to get deported. You're not going to get deported. But how dare you stand here and tell me that I'm going to get deported?
Those are true.
So you, an American citizen, are going to get deported.
Potentially.
You're a very sad individual.
Why?
Because you're trying to take advantage of real people's pain.
Sweetheart, you are the one with blue hair right now, a whole ass adult standing outside of a detention facility calling people Nazis in 2025.
That's because this is Nazi behavior.
And you don't think that it was racist for your white friend here to come up to me and tell me I was going to get deported because I'm brown?
I don't know that happened.
If these illegal aliens have been... Last question, then I'll let you go. If these people have been found to have committed a crime, do you agree that they should be deported?
As a human being.
Do you agree that they should be deported if they have committed a crime and due process has found that they have committed a crime?
That you someday are held accountable for your actions.
I am every single day, which is why my life is great, because I follow the law. I'm an American citizen.
You look like a very sad person.
I look very sad, guys.
You look like you're having a very hard time in life. And I pity you, I truly do. Because you don't care for the dignity of every human being.
I don't care about the dignity of child rapists, you're right, or drug traffickers or MS-13 members who have made my country unsafe.
And I'm sorry that you have had a really hard life.
I care about protecting children, and you're talking about due process, but to be quite honest with you, these people have been given due process, and they've been found to be criminal illegal aliens, and so I do think that they should be deported.
That's very sad to me. You're an exploiter.
So you're here to defend criminals, is what you're saying?
I'm here to defend every single human being. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves dignity.
Thank you for your time.
Everybody does. Even you. Even you.
Thank you.
Even you.
I'm not a child rapist or an MS-13 member, so I would hope so.
No, you're just a capitalist exploiter who likes to exploit people's pain.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fuck you.
Thanks.
I need to get the name of her hairstylist. If these folks represent the Democrat base today, they clearly haven't learned any lessons from the 2024 election. But that's a good thing. We'll be right back.
that 80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom? Traditional bathtubs can increase your risk of injury, especially for those with limited mobility. But with tub-safe walk-in tubs, your safety is built right in. Our innovative design eliminates risk while providing luxury with features like Hydro Massage jets, fast 2-minute drain time, and more. And with every purchase, enjoy a lifetime warranty, parts, and labor. Call now to get a free quote plus $2,000 off your new tub. Don't compromise your safety any longer. Upgrade to Tub Safe today.
That'll do it for this edition of Exposing Leftist Lunacy. I'm Chase Truth. The Jeff Michaels Show is next.
I'm Jeff Michaels. Great to have you. The refusal on the part of everyone on the left, the media, Hollywood, and the Democrat politicians themselves to be even the slightest bit introspective is nothing short of fascinating. You would think, after the drubbing they took on November 5th, they'd want to figure out where they went wrong and what they need to fix. But nope. And they'll lie about anything, regardless of how ridiculous it is, without giving it a thought. But things are definitely changing in some corners of the legacy media. The Democrats' ability to do any interview with a legacy media outlet without worry, fear, or even a thought that the interviewer will ask them a hardball question seems to be waning. But they're not all catching on. Not yet. They're actually doubling down. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries spoke to CNBC today. He just took the usual ignore, dodge, and babble Democrat route when confronted by follow-up questioning about his BS word salad answers in ways he never expected. He wasn't ready for it, that's for sure.
For the last several months, the Democratic Party, for the most part, has been publicly suggesting that because of these tariffs, that the economy was going to falter, that there was going to be a massive recession. And for whatever reason, that has not happened. And I'm curious why you think that hasn't happened and whether you think it was a mistake to be as critical as you have been.
Let's stop right there and make sure everyone understands this very simple question the left-leaning CNBC anchor is asking. Yes, he's a Democrat. His partner is Republican. He's up next. Wait till you see what he does to the good leader. The show is Squawk Box. It's actually been one of the more balanced shows on cable news over the years, especially compared to the rest of the legacy media, or should I say, the pre-Trump legacy media. He asked Leader Jeffries about the time he went nuts when Trump put the tariffs in, predicting every parade of horrible you could possibly think of. Turns out none of them came true, and in fact has turned out to be the exact opposite across the board. And there's no sign of letting up. How do you respond to that, Mr. Minority Leader?
Well, good morning. Great to be with you. Donald Trump promised on day one that costs were going to go down. Costs haven't gone down. They've gone up. What we have seen, in fact, is job creation go down almost to record low levels. And so there is reason to believe that the economy is not moving in the right direction. The erratic tariff policies have created a great deal of uncertainty in the business environment. And uncertainty, of course, doesn't allow for the type of explosive economic growth that we will all like to see here in the United States of America. I think there's no real basis to conclude that Donald Trump has been successful, particularly as it relates to the core issue of driving down the high cost of living in the United States of America, which is too high, which was his fundamental promise to the American people. Costs aren't going down, they're going up.
Don't believe what you see, just what I say. That's the Democrat way. Don't pay attention to what any numbers tell you. They're all misleading, I say. There's still fundamental reasons to believe that Trump's reckless policies didn't make things cheaper on day one like he promised. How does anyone take this jamoke seriously? Thankfully, the CNBC anchor didn't let up. And don't forget, this guy is a Democrat, one of the few grounded ones left. His partner, the Republican, picks apart what Jeffrey said in one fell swoop, and he makes the minority leader babble. It's glorious.
But are you surprised? I'm just asking, just as a person, are you surprised that the tariffs haven't had a bigger impact on prices, for example?
I think it remains to be seen where this is headed. I'm deeply concerned that the tariffs are going to exacerbate the inflationary challenges that we already have in the United States of America, the affordability issues that we have in the United States of America, particularly as it relates to consumer goods and consumer goods that are going to be important to the American people as folks prepare to send their children back to school.
That's called word salad, with expanded wording to make one sound smart and insightful while saying absolutely nothing. It may not be quite as incoherent as Kamala's, but it's basically the same thing. He says he's deeply concerned that the tariffs are going to exacerbate the inflationary challenges that we already have in the United States of America and the affordability issues, particularly as it relates to consumer goods that are important to the American people. That's the House Minority Leader's response to the question, how do you respond to the fact that you yelled to the world that the tariffs were going to destroy the economy and send us into a terrible recession? But it turns out the exact opposite has been the case. But he still has doubts. NBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin set things up. Now it's over to Joe Kernan for the takedown.
I guess, Mr. Speaker, I don't know about deflation and costs coming down. All I can tell you is that the inflation rate itself was 2.7% in the most recent read year over year versus it got to a high of 9% under Biden. Stocks are at record highs. Unemployment is 4.2%. That's full employment. The GDP was 3%. The border is actually secure. We've got trade deals with EU, Japan, many more in the works, and trillions of dollars of foreign investment coming here. Iran's nuclear ambitions have been set back indefinitely, and I just wrote down a few things. So I just have to ask you, where is the calamity that you're talking about? And it almost seems like for Democrats, socialism is the answer to these problems. Or, I don't know, an end of democracy or something? We just don't get it.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what we stand for, Joe. It's pretty clear. As Democrats, we believe in a strong floor and no ceiling. In America, you work hard, you play by the rules, you should be able to live the good life. And there should be no ceiling on your success, on your capacity to do anything in the United States of America. That's the great promise of this country. At the same period of time, there should be a strong floor. Today is the 90th anniversary of Social Security. It was born 90 years ago today. What we've seen from this administration is an attack on Social Security, an attack on Medicaid.
Hang on a second there, Hakeem. Don't you mean Medicaid? Let me refresh your memory. The only people who lost Medicaid with the big, beautiful bill were people who couldn't get it before COVID. More precisely, before temporary rules were put in place for all the able-bodied, mostly men, with lower and middle-wage folks who lost their jobs during COVID. It was never supposed to stay after COVID was over. And even then, if they're just doing volunteer work 20 hours a week, they still get it. And on top of that, they only have to check in once a year. That's it. Is it coming back now, Hakeem?
An attack on the Affordable Care Act, ripping Medicaid away from millions of Americans. That represents the largest attack on health care in American history. Hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, community-based health clinics will be unable to operate. Food is being ripped out of the mouths of hungry children, veterans.
Yeah. Ripping food from poor children's mouths again. It's getting old. Ever hear of the show Surrounded? It brings on mostly conservative guest debaters and surrounds them with liberals and leftists, there to debate the guest one at a time, encircled by the opposition. Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk have both been on. But for one show, the tables were turned, and a very solidly woke Hollywood activist came in to go face-to-face with a bunch of young conservatives. And for that, you have to give her kudos. But there's one more factor here. Both she and all the young conservatives are black. Each discussion unfolded pretty much how most logical conservatives would assume they would. It was a beautiful thing. All that when we come back.
Don't let limited mobility keep you from living the life you want. Wheelchair Dynamics is your home healthcare solution. We carry 3- and 4-wheel scooters from all the top brands in the industry, and our friendly, knowledgeable staff can help find the right model to fit your unique needs. Wheelchair Dynamics puts you in the driver's seat so you can get back out and enjoy life again. Shop online at wheelchairDynamics.com.
There's this show called Surrounded where you can go on and choose the premise that you want to debate, and they will surround you with folks of the opposite political persuasion who sit in the chair across from you one at a time and debate various subjects. It's a liberal-driven and created show, mainly to bring on conservatives and surround them with liberals. There are mechanisms in place to keep people honest, so it's fair that way. The problem is, most conservatives are open-minded and open to learning new ideas or perspectives. The same can't be said for our friends on the left. We know how ridiculous it is to hold on to all our positions and fireblast anyone who feels differently. But for this show, they reversed it and brought on this woman, Amanda Seales. Amanda is extremely woke. She's an actress and comedian. She's had a bunch of shows and specials on various networks. Her position is that reparations are just and necessary. Full stop. And just to understand the context, she's a black woman, and everyone surrounding her waiting for their opportunity to sit in the chair and challenge her are young black conservatives. One after the other, these young men and women came up and shredded her to pieces with fact after fact, none of which she had anywhere to go with. Liberals don't debate outside of their bubble. They never get challenged, yet this woman, to her credit, went on the show. How blind the left is as to how their ideas are perceived by the general public. Here's one sample.
You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we had the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using black-only dormitories because black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor?
She's showing all the blind leftist stereotypes in full bloom. She's sitting there frustrated because everything he's saying is right, and all she can do is wait until he's done, smirking all the way, and then tell him how wrong and dumb he is. That's because there is no leftist argument that holds up against anything coming from a conservative framework.
When black men are more likely to kill me.
Oh my God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now.
Oh my God.
Okay, so on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off.
You'd think that someone like this would at least be a little more savvy or sophisticated in the way they use and throw out the liberal go-tos than the Twitter trolls. Nope. Same stuff, different day. Laughing at him, blowing him off like he's a laughable character. You're scary. You're so misinformed. Except everything that young man said was right. She was saying we are a systemically racist country because we have been from the beginning. We haven't been equals from the onset. A lot of them came back with, we had a black president, right? Elected twice, and a black vice president. But these smart, conservative young guys and gals weren't having any of it. She wasn't going to consider one word any of them said, no matter what. But she sure tried to intimidate them. But nobody seemed intimidated in the least. Can you imagine if I said to someone in the context of arguing politics, you got to treat me like I'm your daddy? I'd get a knock at the door. Here's a little more.
The black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black home. Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit.
It's
not gonna work. No, a debate has to be in facts.
You're putting off emotional liberalism right now.
I am not putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies based in conservatism.
Stop. This isn't going to work if you keep lying, AKA disagreeing with me. And I know you are, but what am I? A staple deflect from the liberal playbook. They're all toddlers. What's most amazing is that she's no better or different than the anonymous wackos on Twitter.
Remember they did the misinformation thing? Oh, by
I don't know if I'm going to last.
We're selling our own people today,
I don't know if I'm going to last.
You probably won't last with me.
I won't, because your ignorance is so overwhelming.
That's liberals. Y'all start name calling when y'all getting defeated in an argument.
Calling. You won't have an argument because you keep cutting me off.
He was going to a place you're not allowed to go, saying there's something in black culture that's toxic, that's leading to bad results, and we have to get honest about it, that a lot of it is fathers not being in the home. A young lady brought up Asians, saying they were immigrants too, but they have a different approach toward education and work ethic, and they've done very well in this country that they've adopted. And she was saying you cannot compare the Asians to the black sewer slaves, and basically kind of left-handedly acknowledging that nobody else is under from which they cannot escape. The young man said, you're basically an emotional liberal, bringing up emotional liberalism as a defense. And all she could do is just say wrong, unfounded. She kept making stuff up, but these kids were ready for it. Liberals' lack of interest in self-awareness is obviously why they actually think their radical left policies sit well with average Americans. So whatever false sense of confidence made her think she could go on this show and hold her own, it completely exposed her in the whole 2020s leftist shtick. She has nothing as a debater. She has nothing as a proponent of her side. And it's good to see the Maoism turned on its head and the struggle sessions go the other way every once in a while. So many things happening that we could only dream about before Donald Trump was reelected.
When we come back, we'll check in with the residents of Washington, D.C. and see how they're feeling about having the National Guard hanging around.
Taking care of our family for nearly 50 years. I thought she could handle anything.
I've always been social, but at one point I stopped wanting to be around others.
We thought her changes in mood were just a normal part of aging.
Many older adults suffer from depression, but it's not a normal part of aging. Depression is treatable. With help, it can get better.
And because I got help with my depression, I am myself again.
Read up and talk to your doctor to learn more.
Ever since Donald Trump sent in National Guard troops in response to the rampant crime happening throughout the nation's capital, the left, including most of the media, has been in full tantrum mode, and they haven't let up. Now the president is getting ready to do the same in Chicago. And while the left calls it everything from authoritarian to racist, what do actual residents of D.C. who've now all had their everyday lives personally affected by what the president has done have to say about it?
We need all the protection that we can get in the city because the city is really getting dangerous. A person like me at this age, I have to make sure to come home before sundown.
I enjoy having extra security. I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
It's a good thing because it actually reinforces the fact that America is secure, safe, stable. As a moderate, as a centrist, I think something needs to be done. I have 3 kids. I'm about to start teaching next week. I want it to be safe.
I think this is long overdue. I've been one of the National Guards in this area for years. I like it. I love it. I feel safe already.
The mayor been in power so long, I think she's kind of used to how things are going, and I think Donald Trump really wants to clean it up. And I'm all for it.
The crime is outrageous, and you do feel unsafe. I don't know, what's going to occur, whether it's going to be really beneficial for us or not, but something needs to happen.
I don't know if you noticed, but all but one of those clips were from legacy media. CNN, NBC,
Think they would have shown D.C. residents praising President Trump for anything a year ago? I think not. And that'll do it for another edition of The Jeff Michaels Show. I'm Jeff Michaels. Back again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Shift Happens is next.